Wednesday never was your sweetie pie girl, right? I don't even remember Wednesday really torturing anybody.
1, 2.
Everything she was doing to her little brother was kind of cartoonish.
Woe to the Republic.
It was shot in a very right way, when you still believe more or less in the realness of the world, but it doesn't feel to you as if you were watching some footage from Russian prisons.
Where the hell am I?
Somewhere where no one can hear your screams.
Дайте мою одежду, пожалуйста.
Носочки одевайте.
Дайте мою
Куда
одежду.
выходите, говорю?
Ну, мою одежду
Или
дайте.
сюда выйдите.
Не, мою одежду дайте.
Выходите, говорю.
Не, мою одежду дайте. Куда мне выходить?
Сюда. Ну, суд, чисто пошли будем.
Wednesday, what are you doing?
Just some light torture.
Дайте мою одежду. Тихо, тихо,
Тише, не надо чего это?
Да успокойся ты.
Не надо биться, не надо.
Надо идти.
Дайте мою одежду, дайте.
Не надо, не.
Don't worry, I won't leave a mark.
Дайте мою одежду.
Не надо.
There's only one thing that a Hyde understands. Pain.
How unprofessional of her. She should have stripped him naked, attached to a table, not a chair, and used the electroshocker on his genitals, not his throat, obviously. That way he would have talked, and that's the way professionals do it in Russian prisons or Chinese concentration camps. Some light torture, leaving no traces. Are you not entertained by it? And here's the problem. The difference between this Wednesday and this Wednesday is huge. It's a biblical abyss. So let's dive into it and let's see, well, first of all, what exactly is this difference? And although the new Wednesday might be visually appealing to some spectators, it's soulless, like a lot of Netflix projects, that's true. Only in this case, soulless plus morbid. It's not dark, but it's trying to be. So soulless, when we add to that a little of morbidity and then some attempts on dark humor, when we put that all together, why could that be potentially detrimental to mental health of some younger audiences? Oof, let's dive in. First of all, nobody is a fluffy unicorn. Everyone in this world, everyone struggles with anxiety, anger, communication, because it's never easy to convey to another person what are you feeling, why are you feeling like that, and how do you want the situation to look in the end. Like, what results do you want to get out of the situation you're in right now? It's never easy for anyone in this world, and that's part of being human. We are all pissed, angry, desperate, sick, tired. All of that happens to everyone, children included.
Children, this is Miss Jelinsky, our new nanny. What do we say?
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
And that was the charm of the original Wednesday.
And then Mommy kissed Daddy, and the angel told the stork, and the stork flew down from heaven and left a diamond under a leaf in the cabbage patch, and the diamond turned into a baby.
Our parents are having a baby, too. They had sex.
There is no fluffy unicorns on this planet. Communication is never easy. what do we feel? Why do we feel this way? What do we want to do with all those emotions? We struggle a lot just formulating those three simple answers. Everybody struggles a lot in understanding your neighbor, understanding what do they feel, how do they think, what do they want from you, and what do you want from your neighbor. It's just being human. Welcome to Earth. And that's exactly why the original Addams Family was such a success, because finally and I know that they started in 1930s and they started as not even comic books but comic sheets. I might F up this word. That's an awful English word that I always get wrong. They just started as some printed little animations in a wall paper, I guess. No, They started just as some little animations in a newspaper. So, and the Addams Family was a that was a funny relief for a lot of American people that were struggling with all their negative feelings that they repressed, like depression, anxiety, like anger too. The wonder of the Addams Family is that they reversed the roles. Those are the Adam parents that are looking at their son, Boy Scout. Oh, that's definitely not from my side of family. And that was weird and funny because you were supposed to be proud of your son being a Boy Scout. And so all this comedic relief not only helped people to express and understand and assess their negative emotions that they were repressing, but it also told people like, hey guys, relax, we are all the same at the end of the day. We might be weird. You should not be scared by something weird. If something is new to you, if something or someone is strange or different, cool, great, let them be. If they don't come at you with guns and knives and they don't plan to eat you at night, let them be. At the end of the day, we are more or less similar. Everyone wants to love and be loved. The parents were so loving to each other and they were also very loving to the children. And even the children, even the Christina Ricci Wednesday, when she's answering to her nanny who is asking her and her brother,
I bet sometimes you wish it was still just the two of you.
Or less.
even when she answers this, it's a comedic relief for all the children who once were jealous of their siblings and didn't want those siblings to exist. And this is normal, this is just a human feeling, but you still feel that everything is fine there. I mean, yes, they might bitch a little bit between each other, like Wednesday and her brother, mostly Wednesday, but at the end of the day, they're still a family. And you definitely don't feel this vibe in the new Wednesday now. Do teenagers antagonize the world? Yes, they do. And for the record, not only teenagers do antagonize the world, but young adults in general, like a lot of humans are generally antagonizing the world and other humans. And here's a good question. Why? Why do people antagonize the world, their neighbors, and, well, anyone, just literally anyone? Because they are scared. Why do teenagers antagonize the world? Well, because they feel helpless. They don't understand life. They don't understand the world. They don't even understand themselves. So they feel tiny and helpless, and they are in such denial of those feelings, of those emotions, because nobody wants to feel tiny and helpless, right? People, not only teenagers, are generally in denial of this precise feeling of helplessness. This feeling when you're small and tiny and you just don't know what to do next, and you actually don't want even think about it because people hate thinking. Teenagers and people in general do antagonize the world a lot because they feel small and helpless. So they are in this mindset when maybe they are in such denial of their feelings they don't even know about it themselves, but they are seeing the whole world and every human they don't know as their enemies, as something threatening. A lot of humans that choose to remain infantile, they feel constantly threatened by the world. So if you live in this constant threat, how do you become? Well, you become stupid. You definitely become stupid because you become so self-absorbed, so self-concerned, you stop seeing anything in this world except you. See? A lot of teenagers do that, but they are supposed to grow up from this stage. With your acne, you're supposed to lose this narrow-mindedness. So, if you ask me, Franz, how do you think, do the world need more TV series with the moral of the story being, hey, little human, be more open to the world. The world is not your enemy. Stop living in a constant threat. Open up. Stop being that narrow-minded. Stop being so concerned with only yourself. I would say yes, great message, perfect message, not only for teenagers, for anyone walking and breathing on this earth. The message, stop being uncomfortable with anything different from you, it's a great message. Is it in the new Wednesday, though? Not really.
Woe to the Republic.
Two main points, ladies and gentlemen, and every non-binary person. First of all, Wednesday, as I said, is superficial. Characters are superficial. Wednesday is soulless. The characters have just one trait of character, and that's it. They're not even lines at that point. They're just dots, one dot. Like Wednesday is a black dot and the other one is a pink dot. Can you make a classic with very superficial characters? Yes, you can. Do people torture each other? The whole history of humanity is, from a certain perspective, a long sadomasochistic journey. But superficiality and things people don't want to acknowledge about themselves generally don't work together. In 1930s, the Addams family didn't even have names, and still they weren't soulless. Weird, yes, but not unpleasant. The new Wednesday isn't weird. She's your average, pissed, scared, and emotionless teenager. But with an inappropriate penchant for
Just some light torture.
a tediously narrow mind, some snarky wordings, and a general lack of any understanding of humans or situations. Yes, Franz, but she learns. Isn't that the point of a movie? Okay. What did she learn? That a hug doesn't kill? Maybe she learns that you don't have to suppress all the time all your emotions, because playing the tough guy and actually being tough are antonyms. You cannot be tough if you're trying to play the tough guy as she does. Maybe she learns that. Here's a lesson you're not gonna enjoy. Maybe Wednesday learns that being a loner means being a loser. You don't like this one, right? Because lots of teenagers and lots of infantile people who never grew up, they actually relate to loners. But what does that mean, being a loner? It means, first of all, being unable to explain to the world your point of view. It means that you are unable to forge any trustful relationship with any person, and that makes you a loser, sir, ma'am, or any non-binary person. That exactly what makes a human a loser. When you cannot connect to the reality, you cannot connect to people, you cannot connect to the world, you're afraid of the world, you're hating the world for it. This is the real meaning of the word loner. Maybe Wednesday learns that. And don't get me wrong, I love narcissistic, more or less, ironic, sarcastic, one could say deeply desperate characters with a good sense of humor and doubtful, questionable moral choices, sprinkled sometimes with violence. Because, humans and violence, it's unfortunately like bees and honey. 10,000 years of human history shows us perfectly how people are unable to run any society without violence. So art should reflect it. But the new Wednesday is nothing from the above. I'm sorry, guys. She's just this black and white dot that reinforces in your heads this disgraceful picture of a cool, cold, stone-faced loner misunderstood by the vulgar crowds. God. And here we come to the point number 2. What happened to being kind? What's wrong with nice? Really? I mean, there's so much of those anti-heroes that are, whatever you call it, sarcastic, ironic, broken, effed up, whatever. They are everything but kind, nice, and empathetic. What I love in Dostoevsky, in Gorky, in Celine, is that when you read those, when you really look at humans the way humans are, and sorry guys, we're not, fluffy unicorns. It's really a civilization of pretty ugly big apes with a lot of sadomasochistic patterns. But when you really look at humans the way they are, you understand bright as day one simple truth. Nice, kind, and empathetic, that's exactly what makes the world function. If we lose that, we lose our civilization. And please, let's clear autism out of the way, because being autistic or being somebody on the autistic spectrum is definitely not a synonym for being an unnecessary, rude, and mean asshole with vaguely good intentions. And this is exactly what Wednesday is. Incapable of basic empathy because not wishing to be capable of it, because being too afraid of otherwise being taken advantage of or anything being hurt. And this is, if anything, this is definitely not cool. This is just being a coward. You're just so afraid that anybody will hurt you that you're actually most of the time just an insecure little snot that is trying to prove to everybody that she needs no one while she needs attention and some human warmth, as everyone does. Being utterly incapable of human connection in real life, being utterly incapable of getting any result from any human in this world, because to get any result from humans, well, you have a lot And it doesn't happen when you, as this new Wednesday, just want to get rid of any human interaction, actually just get rid of the world, because deep inside you're that scared of life and world. So I understand that the point of the TV series should be stop antagonizing the world, stop repressing your emotions, stop being that coward, stop fearing every second of your existence that you're gonna get hurt, fearing this negative feedback. Instead of teaching this, showing how lame Wednesday is, it gets those, let's say, those undeveloped minds into believing that no, it's actually cool to never understand any interest of any other person. It's actually cool to not have any emotions at all. And the problem is that sooner or later, those people who are,
oh my god, Wednesday is so cool and so straightforward,
they will try, maybe not in the same volume, as loud as the character does it in the TV series, but they will try something from this spectrum and they will get devastating results. In reality, nobody would tell to this Wednesday only at the end of the TV series, like, no, you are the worst that happened to this school, just get away and you will save the school. That will not happen in the end of the TV series. That will happen in the episode 1. Because in real life, with real humans, as self-concerned with themselves as humans are, when specific Homo sapiens is saying,
hey, I want to die alone, leave me in peace,
life does exactly this. It leaves you in peace. Because everybody around you just thinks, well, F you, toxic garbage. I don't need you in my life. If you don't need me, well, I definitely don't need you. And you have the whole Instagram about it. About the red flags, about you don't need any relationship with somebody who is not wishing for this relationship. So in real life, such a Wednesday will get a huge FU from the whole world in the very episode number 1. Because everybody would think, God, that's a toxic garbage, out of my life, or would not think about Wednesday at all because they're just so self-concerned with their problems, their repressed emotions. Just, they're so concerned with the world being mean to them to just even notice such an unnoticeable, actually, Wednesday. And that's why I said that might be devastating for some undeveloped minds that will skip on the part, hey, open yourself to the world and say yes instead of saying no, don't touch me because I'm far too scared. Try to say yes. Well, just stop being such a coward and in such a fear, living in such a fear of a negative feedback. And especially, dumb are those, tweets, like those opinions that Wednesday is brave because she doesn't give an F about what everybody around her thinks. Actually, that's the only thing she's concerned with. Because if she wouldn't give an F about it, she would have no need to repress any of her emotions. And believe me, if somebody is walking with that face constantly, this being is not in a good place in their life. Definitely not in a good place. And it never happens. Like, I have no emotion because I'm an autist or whatever you invent to yourself. That never happens. From the moment you're human, you do have emotions. Nobody, literally nobody from 8 billion people on this earth have no emotions. It just doesn't happen. You do breathe. You can't say, I don't need oxygen because I'm schizophrenic. No, even if you're schizophrenic and no matter what your hallucinations are, you need oxygen. Because everybody functions just like that. Everybody needs oxygen. In the same way, everybody, no matter how autistic, schizophrenic, or any other disease, very often teenagers invent to themselves. So no matter what, you have emotions, and if you feel like you don't have them, it's just that you are repressing them. And believe me, if you are repressing your emotions, there's just one reason for it, just one. It's very simple, because you're so afraid to get a negative feedback. You're so afraid to get hurt. You're so afraid to get vulnerable. So do the teenagers need more TV series about, hey, don't be afraid to be vulnerable? Hell yeah. People need that, not only teenagers. Is Wednesday such a thing? No. It turned out, no matter what the producers or the director wanted to do, but it turned out to be the complete opposite. When you have lots of undeveloped minds who are screaming like,
Yeah, she's so brave, she doesn't give an F about anyone.
well, that's not brave. That's actually the epitome of being a coward. Not giving an F about even your own life and wanting just everybody to F off. And then what? Just die? What would you have left then if life just, goes not through you, but around you and as further as possible? Because, well, who needs a toxic garbage in their lives? Also, a very important thing, don't come with,
Hey, she had good intentions, she saved that one, or she wanted to save this one.
in life, generally, people don't need to be saved. She herself said to this tall and skinny guy,
I don't need to be saved, I'd rather save myself alone.
well, in their routine, people don't need to be saved. But what they need, some empathy, some kindness, some nicety. Not that, but actually somebody who they can feel, and so somebody who can feel them. So taking all that into consideration, why nice is no more a thing? Why, to a lot of Americans, nice is becoming more and more a synonym of fake? Why kind sounds far too often as weak? Why sincere and straightforward are more and more becoming a synonym for unnecessary, rude, and narrow-minded, walking and talking asshole, not wishing to understand other people? Well, because there are too many people that are weak and afraid of their weakness and wishing not to change their weakness, but to prove the world. They don't want to work with their weakness. They don't want even to acknowledge it, but they want to prove to the world and to themselves especially that they are strong, fearsome. And that's how you get those mass shooters that are trying to prove themselves that they are something important, something to reckon with. That's how you get Nazis. That's how you get this tiny human blob trying to prove himself, herself, themselves, something, and feeling themselves a victim. Denying it. No, I'm strong, I'm not a victim, but I feel constantly oppressed. I'm not a victim. I have no victim mind. But I constantly yell about somebody oppressing me or somebody threatening me. And that's how you get the fans of Hitler, of Trump and Putin, constantly yelling of a threat, of somebody oppressing, of somebody being against you. The world is against us. This is the most teenager mindset ever. The world is our enemy. We are alone against the world. The most teenager, infantile mindset ever. So we have to be strong. This is not a face of strength, for sure. That's a face of cowardice. And that's why I'm asking, what happened to nice? What happened to kind? And I just cannot not to talk in that moment about this persuasion equanization, why a lot of people love the book, because it's about a shy person, a not well-spoken person, a person that actually is very easy to persuade. The tiny path of such person, and at the same time, well, the main heroine is definitely not a heroine from, you know, those big sagas. She's not an empress, she's just a random, a very mediocre girl from English countryside. But the book is written in a way that shows that it's okay to be shy. It's okay to be clumsy, not well spoken. It's okay to, you know, not to be the brightest person in the room, not to be different, not to be strikingly anything. Well, it's okay, it's just how humans are. The majority of humans are, sorry guys, mediocre, not strikingly anything, but they are also capable of love. Well, the biggest part still. I wish to believe in that, at least, that the majority of humans on the planet are more or less capable of something at least reminding of love, and that's good. And from the moment they walk in that direction, their life is worth living. When you have all those people admiring kind of not the right traits, do you need to be more outspoken? Yes, definitely you do. Do you need to express yourself more freely? Yes, definitely you do. Do you need to understand better what exactly you want at every precise moment of your life? Yes, you do. But not really in the way Wednesday does it. So yeah, that's a lot of timing. Like, I mean, the video is becoming far too long. So let us finish with a very simple sentence, like simple, almost cheesy, but very needed, always needed. Needed 1,000 years before Christ, like 1,000 years after, 10,000 years after, if humanity survives, obviously. Let's finish with a wonderful sentence. Be kind. And that's it for today.